Welcome to UC Bearcats on the Prowl, part of the Grueling Truth Radio Network, brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie, the best spot to bet on sports. Today we have Eric Hicks, former UC Bearcat. Eric, tell us about that new team you're with.
Yeah, I'm with the Kentucky Enforcers ABA team. We're currently ranked 5th in the country. We play at home games. All our home games are Saturday and Sunday at CCU, Cincinnati Christian University. We've got a very good team. Like I was telling you earlier, we got Jeff Robinson, knucklehead that played at Xavier with the Crosstown Shootout coming out. We got Aaron Mills played at what Aaron play? Thomas Morris. We got a whole bunch of local guys that played at colleges around here. Very entertaining, high-flying, good to come out and bring your family. And then we do a lot of events out in the community, like what did we do for Thanksgiving? We did like a turkey drive, a food drive. We do a lot of different drives and, things to give back and try to get people to come out and watch us play. I got tickets for y'all guys, so I want y'all to come.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. That's what we love to hear is about organizations like yours that are, giving back to the community, helping out, spreading the good word, but also a very entertaining, very exciting brand of basketball.
Definitely.
I was going to say with our sponsor being MyBookie, is there any side wagers between you and the other Xavier, or you and the Xavier players? On your team?
Yeah, of course, that always got to happen. I'm not going to make the game, sad to say, because we actually got a game Saturday. So we'll probably be in the team van headed to go play in Evansville, Indiana. So we're going to come up with something on the way up.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say, something, nothing too crazy. Loser has to buy Skyline or Gold Star or Dixie Chili or something like that.
What me and Keith Jackson normally do, we normally wait the last 2 years. I had to wear his jersey 2 years ago. He had to wear mine last year. So we'll take a picture with the other person with it on. So, I mean, and then when that hits Facebook or whatever, you already know you're going to catch it.
Nice.
That's
and
cool.
I'm also still doing my mind, body, and soul training. So I'm pretty sure y'all see that where I actually train a lot myself because I'm actually playing with the ABA team, but I'm training kids, so you can't train kids if you're not in shape. I can't tell a kid to go rebound and hit the ground and get back up, and I can't do it myself.
Yeah.
So exactly. Mark, you can definitely relate. You coach.
Yeah. Well, I coach football, so I don't get out there with them. But it would be fun. But beat my kids around a little bit. But nah, I don't get the chance to do that. But it's good to hear you're working with kids, Eric. That's awesome.
Man, it just brings like a certain energy. You gotta have a certain energy to work with kids and a certain patience, and I love it because whether y'all know it or not, I'm really like a big silly kid. All I do is joke around. So like on the court, I'm a different person, but when I'm with kids, it's fun.
Yeah, what age groups do you work with the training? Is it all different age groups?
I normally do, different age groups. Like I normally start at 4th grade and go on up. But if I got 2 4th graders that's similar skill level, I have them work out. But I try not to skip too many levels unless it's a brothers. Like if you got a brother in the 4th grade and one in the 7th, that's okay because the parents, they always work out. The little brother want to be like the big brother, or the younger daughter wants to be like the older daughter. So I do boys and girls. I go all the way up to, college. I mean, it just depends on the skill set that they have and what they're looking for. So the first workout's like an assessment of footwork, agility drills, ball handling, just to get where they're at and see where they're level. Mm-hmm. Because just to tell you, I know what your kid needs before even working out with them. I'll be a liar.
Yeah. So it's all basketball related, right?
Yeah, basketball and conditioning. Of course, we're going to run some sprints because I want to tire you out. Game time shooting, when you're tired, winded, getting some shots up. Critical times, getting the shots up, like fourth quarter shots, things like that. Normally go an hour. And,
You got to run them like Huggins used to run you, right?
Oh no, no. I think my clientele base should be small, Ben.
I got you, man. That's awesome. So, hey, what's it like playing at Cincinnati Christian? You know, I actually got my master's degree from there, and so I'm familiar with the gym. You like it? You like the area? You like the atmosphere?
Yeah, I like the atmosphere because it's kind of like, you know, a nice high school gym, a very nice high school gym. So, and then it's kind of like, you know, your family and your friends, they're right there. So it's kind of like if something happened, you hear your girlfriend or your sister or your brother, like, come on. So they're right there. There's not no security really stopping you. I mean, and then you get to bring your family. They still get to see you play. Because I have no aspirations of going back overseas. I mean, I have gotten calls, but I'm just, I'm good. I mean, you go over there, you come back, you're lost. I still like playing, so this is something I can play competitively and be at home.
Good, man. That's awesome. And you said your team, what, you're ranked like fifth?
Fifth in the country.
And how many teams are there?
Man, it's a lot. Like, you got teams in Florida, Texas, California, Raleigh, North Carolina, Virginia.
Okay.
I mean, they're everywhere. So, they're everywhere.
Cool. And
it's all over the United States. It's all over the United States because the ABA. Remember back in the day, the ABA and the NBA was kind of competing, and the NBA is the NBA now.
Yeah, that's and just out of curiosity, who's the top ranked team?
I don't know. I got to go. If you actually Google ABA rankings, it'll pop up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it'll pop up, and it'll give you, like, each week they come out with the new rankings and the new everything. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah. And we also, I like to mention this, we're doing a slam dunk, Children's Hospital slam dunk event at Sports of All Sorts. So it's basically we're raising money for children. I mean, we do a whole bunch of different things like that. And we also got a Facebook page and a website with the Kentucky Enforcers.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm trying to be on everything. I don't want dusting them like, oh, you forgot about this. I'm just like, I know we do so much. I tend to forget. I'm just like, tell me where to go. You know, let's go out there. Let's have fun. So we got a whole bunch of numerous different things planned out that we do.
Yeah,
gotcha.
definitely.
Okay, it looks like
Anytime you're – oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, it looks like it's the South Florida Gold in top of the power rankings.
Yep. Did you see we're fifth?
Yeah, Kentucky Enforcers 4-0, man. Nice.
There we go. Yeah, y'all got to come see us. I'm telling you. You got to come see us.
I do, man. That's awesome.
I got your tickets. You get there. You say, all you got to do is say, I'm with Eric.
Nice. I'll have to do that, man. I can't do it this weekend. We got swim meets for my daughter, but maybe we'll get out there in the next couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, I always got the schedule. I always post it on Facebook or anything. So
cool.
Just stroll through my page. You'll see it. Pick what game you want. Let me know. I have the tickets there, and just spread the word.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, speaking of spreading the word, Eric, anytime you have those type of great events, like you mentioned the Children's Hospital Slam Dunk at Sports of All Sorts, definitely forward those on to us because we will mention it during our UC show. I also do an NKU show. We'll mention it on there as well. That way we can spread the good word. Me and Mark specifically have been affected a lot by Children's Hospital. My little guy has a condition, Eagle-Barrett syndrome. And then Mark was there over the holiday weekend with his kid.
Okay, definitely.
So, we believe in, anytime we can help to give back to the community, those type of great things. Like, I want to say it's, February? You probably will be in the Icky Woods basketball
NKU,
Javante.
I definitely love. Well, you give back, and it's for his son. That what is it for asthma?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love playing in that. That's a very good event. I actually look forward to playing in, especially to see Ick come out there. Oh my goodness, Ick's my man. I love that.
He's awesome.
Yeah, they do a great job with that event. Him and his brother organize it really well. Koki does a great job, both of them. And yeah, like I said, anytime we can help to spread the word and give back to the community, it's always a good thing. What's your thoughts on the Bearcats this year? I mean, so far 7-0, can't go wrong with that.
Man, I love the way we look. I'm very excited. I just can't wait till we get to playing. Well, it's happening this week. I'm ready to see us play the higher level competition. I mean, as of right now, we got an A in my books. We beat everybody like we're supposed to. We look impressive. We're moving the ball. Everybody's scoring. And you don't know where it's coming from. It can come from this guy. It can come from that guy. So, I mean, we look really good. I'm very excited. So now this is like the real tough. When you look at the schedule, you circled this little section right here, this little 2-3 weeks right here. So I want to see how we can come out of it, because I watched Florida play. They look tough.
Yeah, they look real good.
Yeah, they had Duke put away, and they just squandered the game away. I didn't get to see Xavier play, but I saw the final score at the bottom of the ticker where they beat Baylor. But I don't know how good Baylor is, but that's a good quality win versus a top 16, top 25 team. But
it is, yeah.
But either way you look at it, I'm going to ride with UC even if we ain't got a chance. But I really think this is our year to actually blow them away. I hope, and I'm hoping so. So
yeah, I agree.
I really love our team because it's not like we're dependent upon one person. If one person get in foul trouble, we actually got another stud we can replace, and they can pick up where the other person left off. Mick has done a great job of recruiting, and he actually got the guys he wanted in. Not saying he didn't before, but I meant the people we got now, I feel like they've developed, and everybody's there.
Yeah, that was one of the interesting things at I forget which game's post-game press conference. They were asking them about rankings of recruitment classes, and they were mentioning, oh, well, you all were ranked number 20 or 30 or something farther down the list. And he's like, well, how? They asked him how did it make him feel, and he's like, I don't pay attention to any of those numbers. I just go out and find who I know can play the game the right way, and I agree with you. I think he has. I mean, the talented, the depth on there. I mean, the third string guy that they're bringing off the bench, shoot the Keith Williams is doing phenomenal as a freshman. I mean, those type of guys. I mean, the interior is so deep, 3-4 deep, on the inside and being able to play bigs. I mean, it's amazing how well they're going to do this year. However, of course, against Xavier, I mean, I agree with you. I say UC's probably going to win that game. But unfortunately, there probably won't be a blowout of any sort. Xavier's pretty strong, too. That's the nice thing about this area of the country. I mean, this game has been one of those ones that have always been huge. But, I mean, with them both being rated so high this year, I think it's even going to get more national attention brought to both programs.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead, man.
When we're both top 25, it's always going to bring that more exposure to the table. 2 top 25, I mean, highly, this is up there top, you can say top 5 in the nation rivalries. Because I can't think of too many more, and we're both up there. I say a blowout, but, you could throw the records out when we play. Let's be honest. You could throw the records out. And another thing to piggyback off what you were saying, remember when Mick went out and found Max Hill? Max Hill wasn't even ranked nothing. Mick went out and found him and turned him into they turned him into a player. So, I think Mick really got the guys he wants, and I mean we should really make a good run this year.
Yeah, and looking at the Crosstown Shootout this year, I think something that's really going to help the Bearcats. They can run 10, 11 guys out there. Xavier can.
God, I know.
Xavier's got I was talking about this with my brother just the other night. He was actually at the Xavier game last night, and I was talking to him about it a little bit today. Xavier can run 7 out there, maybe 6, but it's to a point where stop a couple guys and make the rest of the team beat you. If you guys remember that game last year, that's the one where Trayvon Blewett went nuts in the first half.
It was amazing in the first half.
Ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Well, and it was like, Mick basically said, you know what? We're going to shut the other 4 guys down and let Trayvon Blewett beat us.
Yep.
And now he can do that again. But, man, even our 5th defender on Trayvon Blewett now is a great matchup because of the defense this team plays. So it's going to be a fun game to watch.
I know me and Jeff, we're going to be in the van talking trash, going back to back. Because we're going to turn the radio off. We're going to find a way to stream it on an iPad, computer, or something. Because that thing's going to be on.
Yeah, you know what you need to do in the bet is, along with him having to wear your jersey, you should make him sing the fight song too.
You see.
Yep, exactly. Make him sing the UC fight song.
I'm going to get him to do that, wear my jersey, and I got to record it. That's the biggest thing. You got to record it so you can put it on the internet.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That'd be fun. That'd be awesome. Yeah, this team, though, you're right, Eric. I think this team's there's something different about them, man. There's something a little bit different than the last teams. They really do. They really do.
You got that X factor. Like the guys, the moment isn't too big for the guys. I mean, that's how I really feel. I don't think they're intimidated by the moment after the things they've been through, like playing UCLA when Ball and all of them, being there in the NCAA tournament, playing all the teams. I meant like finishing high because we got UCLA again this year. We got Wichita State has came into the conference. They're top 7 or 6 in the country.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is the hardest schedule we had by far. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But we also got the best team. Yeah, we got the hardest schedule we had thus far, and we also got the best team. So I'm salivating at the mouth for this season, especially around this time. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, when your week game is Mississippi State, Mississippi State's not a bunch of bums. So, the next 4 games, Xavier, Florida, Mississippi State, and UCLA, and that's going to be a tough stretch over those next 3 weeks, like you all were saying. And especially with Florida being on a neutral site up there in Jersey for the Jimmy V event.
Mm-hmm. But what's awesome about that is it is the Jimmy V, and it's going to get so many eyes on them because ESPN makes such a big deal out of it, and you're going to have 2 top-rated teams playing. There's going to be so many people around the country watching this game.
Dickie V's going to catch on. Dickie V's going to do it again. He's a BTPer, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, he's going to go nuts. I'm trying to figure out which player he's going to like the most. But, he's going to go nuts.
Oh, my God, I see future potential in him, baby. Watch what I tell you. I'm from North Carolina, so he did all the little Duke Carolina rivalries. I remember everything.
Yep. Oh, man, yeah, it'll be something. And you know what I really like about this year's team so far? Jacob Evans hasn't gone off yet, and he's that player that you're just waiting for him to take over a game, and he hasn't had to. He can. So, I think he's going to be a player to watch. I think he's going to be, the X factor coming up in the next few games. I think it's going to be just a lot of fun to watch him.
Yeah. Like I said, I keep telling you, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really went off the deep end bragging too much because the other team they had that was really good was when Octavius was a senior. I thought they would have been better than what they were. And that was the time I actually told Keith, that was the first time I had to wear the Xavier jersey. So I've been kind of picking and choosing what I say, but as soon as we beat Xavier and then we go out and beat Florida, oh, my goodness. Wait till you see my Facebook and Twitter feed. It's going to be over. We beat them, too. It's going to be over.
So what player on the team reminds you most of you, your style, your way of attacking on offense?
I kind of like Gary. I like Gary the most.
Yeah.
I like Gary. Gary kind of, I don't think he is as athletic as I was, but he got that little short hook shot. He can hit the open shot. He can find people, kind of like what I had to do my senior year. Pick up the pace, find people more. because I didn't have a Max Hill along with me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a Robert Wade. It was just me by myself. So I like Gary's game. I love it. I love it. He gets it done. And now he's starting to finish more, too. Well, he was finishing, like the more I watched the games last year, he started finishing more. Just exciting to watch him play.
Yeah, he's become more physical.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
that was one of my biggest complaints about him in his first couple of years. He wasn't physical. He didn't use the physical gifts he's got. And in the past, probably last season and so far this year, he seems to have caught on to the fact that he can be a physical force out there, and it's good to watch him play that way.
It looked like he bulked up some because we were standing beside each other. I was like, dang, you put on a little weight. He was like, yeah, man, trying to make sure, get a little bigger. I was like, whoa. It looks good.
He does look
it really looks good. It really looks good. It really does. And like I said, Evans, he can create off the dribble. I mean, I'm just excited. Then you got the Broom, the point guard. Oh, my goodness. He can do whatever he wants with that thing.
Yeah, we talked a lot about him in the off season. Looking forward to watching him play, and so far he's been as advertised. He's something out there.
I agree.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing in the scrimmage, the red versus black game. They had him on. They had him on the black team, and the red team was winning by a bunch. And it was funny because he was, he was the best player on the team that was the side that was losing, and then move him over to the side that was winning. And in hindsight, we figured out why they did it, because they were planning on, running both the point guards with the number one. But at the time, we're watching the game, we're like, okay, he's doing great over here. Why are you going to put him over there now? But it was a really interesting, because like you said, with the depth, I mean, being able to, just how many bigs they have out there, which is nice. And, of course, during practice, they're just only making each other better, like they did last year with Kane. Kane working with, of course, Evans and Cumberland last year, making them better during the season. So it's nice to see it paying off.
Exactly. And then we haven't even talked about Cumberland. I forgot about him. I'm sorry. I don't even know I forgot about him. I mean, we're loaded.
He's a beast. I mean, he really is. He looks the part of an NBA player out there, the build, the skills, and, man, he is not afraid to go to the hoop.
I agree.
This year. I was going to say, last year they weren't letting him for some reason, because that was the part that always confused the heck out of me in the games, because, I mean, he's built like, I want to say Blake Griffin. I mean, like you said, he's a
you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, he's a big, strong young man, and I'm like going, why is he just shooting threes? Because he would just stroll down the court and, like, flick his wrist and hit a couple threes. And I'm like, well, shouldn't he be getting rebounds? Shouldn't he be knocking people around in there? But, yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's something, man. But I think they call him the freight train, at least on the broadcast.
I tell you what, when he get that ball and he decide he can outrun everybody and go to the basket, you got to stay out of his way. He got that one speed.
Somebody might get hurt.
Yeah, he has that one speed. Like, you're not going to be able to recover and get in front of him fast enough to take the charge. So you might as well get ready to foul him hard or just let him go to the basket and get his layup or dunk.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to end up on a poster,
Yeah, exactly. or hurt. Trying to take a blocking foul, and you done gave up an and one, and you hurt.
Exactly.
So, Eric, what's your thoughts on them playing at BB&T Arena this year? Are you excited about this year, where they're going to get to go back to Fifth Third?
Yeah, I can't wait to see the new Fifth Third. The BB&T Arena is actually up the street from where I live, so I actually like the BB&T Arena, but I think it's about time that the shoe Fifth Third need to be redone, because it's been around and it's been like that since I was in school. So it was past due a renovation.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I definitely can't wait to actually get back over to Clifton and actually just get back to the old feeling of being on campus. Because just being on campus is a different feeling in itself.
Yeah.
You go by your old dorm room, like, oh, yeah, that's where I used to stay. Me and Max used to sneak out of that door right there.
Oh, good old days.
Man, good old days.
So tell us, how do people sign up for your training program?
Okay, so I actually have my own website. So basically, you either can send me an email or you can call me. So, or you can just go to if you go to the website, when you go to the website, it gives you different options. Like if you click at the bottom of the website, it'll show you it'll take you to my email, or it'll take you to my Facebook page or the web. I mean, it'll take you to all of them. I think I got my Twitter linked to it, my Facebook, and I got one more social media outlet linked to it. But besides that, it's Mind, Body, and Soul Training at squarespace.com. That's the web page. And my email is msbtraining14@gmail.com.
Okay. And what's your Twitter handle?
Well,
you know what? They could probably just search for Eric Hicks.
Yeah, I think it's under Eric Hicks, but I got a picture of the Mind, Body, and Soul Training. I actually had to change it from Eric Hicks to Mind, Body, and Soul Training. And I also messed up when I said Mind, Body, and Soul Training at Squarespace. I mean msbtraining.squarespace.com.
Okay, so msbtraining.squarespace.com. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's it. So that right there, my Facebook, if you look up at MSB Training 14, it'll pull up my Facebook business page for it too.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Get you some followers there and all that.
An important note, definitely put the training part on there. Otherwise, you end up in this hippie website with ladies picking flowers in the woods.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I definitely, because I got so many, like I got the email, I got the Facebook, I got the Twitter, I got the website. So each one of them are pretty much alike, but in order to get the name right, I had to tweak one or two things, like add a dot or a 14 here. So
it's all
that's
good.
why. But yeah, pretty much MSB Training 14. That's the Facebook, and msbtraining.squarespace.com. That's the website. And when you go to the website, you click up if you see it at the top of the screen, it shows you everything to do, and all my contact information and everything is on there.
Sweet.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for coming on the show, Eric. We definitely appreciate it. Like I said, anytime there's a charity event or any type of event going on with you, the different teams you help out, the Cervantes Foundation, any of those type of things, we always want to hear about it. That way we can spread the good word, because we definitely believe in giving back to the Cincinnati tri-state area.
I definitely appreciate you. I definitely will. I definitely notify you about it.
Yeah,
Excellent.
man. And Eric, thanks for coming on, man. It's always great to talk to you. It's the second time you've been on, and it's a pleasure, man. And love hearing that you're doing well. And best of luck this weekend, man. Go out to Evansville and show them how we play basketball.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on, man. Look forward to talking to you later on in the future.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
All right. Bye-bye.
As always, he's great. I mean, it's nice to hear, former Bearcats giving back to the community, and of course staying, physically active and just doing all kinds of great things.
Yeah, and I'm sure I said this the last time he came on, but man, that's why he is one of my all-time favorite Bearcats. He's just his energy. He loves the sport. He loved his time here at UC, and the fact that he's hanging around and giving back to the community after he's gone overseas and played basketball. He didn't need to come back here, but he did, and it's great to have him back here. And man, he is outstanding.
Definitely. However, like we were talking about the UC Xavier game, I don't know. I'm going to throw it out there. I think they're more 8-9 deep as opposed to 7. But either way, UC's more like 10 deep. So I know what you mean. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about UC. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say Xavier's no one to sleep on. UC, like you said, is just, other than maybe one or two guys on the team, pretty much anybody could go out there and start the game. Actually, they ended up doing that the other night when I was there. They ended up having Washington on the bench and Broom on the bench to start the game, which they wouldn't say why. But, it's just, who knows? They were probably late to practice or something, not important. I mean, it wasn't like they were cop-kicking puppies on the street corner or something. They were just, they're probably just late to practice or going to run an extra lap or something. But, any of the players, I mean, are so good that they could start on most teams. So, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the point I was going to make, man. UC's 10, UC's number 9 could be a number 1 at some schools, and not small schools.
Exactly.
We're talking top programs. So, and, one person we didn't talk about is Justin Jennifer, how well he's playing right now, knock on wood. He's drawn some attention from John Rothstein on Twitter and some of the national writers just because of the way he's playing now compared to the way he played when he played last year. So I think, and you're right, Xavier's not somebody to sleep on, but, if UC can stick to their game plan, and, take J.P. McCura and Trayvon Blewett out of the game as much as possible, it should end up on the smiling side of the scoreboard for us this weekend.
That's very true because, those two guys can get hot at any moment. I mean, there were a couple games last year with J.P. I forgot which they were playing out of town, and they were just killing it. I want to say it was around the Thanksgiving. It was probably the Thanksgiving tournament they were at last year.
Okay.
And, because I was there for a women's game, and we're watching the men's game before the women's game starts, and J.P., I mean, in one half, he probably scored 20-something points. I mean, it was ridiculous. Same like you were mentioning, with Trayvon last year, and of course in the UC game in that first half. I mean, heck, Ken Brew was making jokes that he could have probably covered him better than the Bearcats guys were, because at that point he was right. I mean, it didn't matter what you did, Blewett was hitting it. But like you said, they got so much more depth, they got so much more height this year. So, I mean, they're going to be able to send wave after wave of Bearcats after him to be able to keep him under control. So as opposed to last year where it's kind of like you said, you pick your poison. This year I don't think that'll be an issue.
Right. And UC can play their zone if they want to against Xavier, or they can put Cumberland on Blewett and Evans on McCura and see where it goes from there because they are big athletic guys who can stick with them. The thing about Trayvon and JP is they've got that in the gym range. They're in shooting position as soon as they walk through that door.
Exactly.
And they're not afraid to shoot it. But with a hand in their face and getting beat on, rebounding all game with some of those big bodies that UC has, I think it's going to turn the edge to the Cats.
Very true. Yeah, they do have a lot of good going for them there. Well, speaking of turning to the dark side. I mean, on the bright side, they finished with a win, sort of, and 4-8 for the season. Obviously, we were so bad at picking at the beginning of the season. Joe Nuxall and Dave Lapham. Both of them would call us homers because of how much we were, believing UC was going to go and, win it all and all that kind of craziness this year. So 4-8, what's your thoughts?
Well, you know what? At the beginning of the season, you and I both, and I think a lot of the UC fans, we drank a little bit of the new coach, new attitude Kool-Aid, to put it in crude terms. But quite honestly, 4-8 with the crew he's got, it's not a bad season. Would have liked a couple more wins. If you look back at some of those games, they probably should have won that they didn't. But, hey, that happens. It's a young team, new coaching staff, very few seniors scattered around. And so the big thing is going to be to see how Fickle works with these guys now that he's had a complete season with them. He had last offseason, this past game season. Let's see what he does in this upcoming off season with them. And things are looking up. I think that's the best way to say it. We have every reason in the world to be positive about this football team. Whereas this time last year, if you remember, James, it was like, good Lord, it's a death knell. You know, we might as well be holding a funeral for the entire football program. So we've got some new energy in. I think things are looking up.
That's true. It did feel that way. I mean, it just had that whole, down to the dumps kind of, what's the point at this, point, kind of even, kind of feeling like you want them to lose that last game or two just to make sure that they fire him, because otherwise, unfortunately, it kind of relates to the Bengals and how they're feeling right now, where a lot of their fans, like, other journalists have been talking about how even true Bengal fans want them to lose just so they can have a regime change. So kind of the same thing with UC last year. So I mean that was a heck of a good game, that UConn game. I mean, folks that didn't go to it, which should have, because it was nice. I mean, Lewis had several really big plays. And the two big catches, that end around, that was really nice. Boone had some big plays. So, it was some good stuff out there.
Yeah, and again, I think we have every reason to be 100 times more positive about this team than we were this time last year. And even after the Fickle hiring, we were very positive. But I think going into the 2018-2019 season, we're going to see some definite changes. There was that period this year where they were losing all those games in a row. And it just felt like they couldn't do a damn thing right. And I think that may have been just a little bit of a hangover from the year before, because they're young kids, the sophomores and the juniors, and they start thinking, oh, crap, here we go again. So I think Fickle will continue his good work with the team. And eventually it's going to show up in the record, and hopefully it's next year. This team could look back at the games, James. I mean, there were two games that they should have won that they didn't. I think they should have won that Temple game, and I think they should have won. Oh shoot, SMU, yeah. So right there, you're sitting at 6-6. So I think there's reasons to believe in this team. I think next year is going to be a different season, but with the same cast of characters. So I just have good feelings about it.
Very true. I agree with you. I think it's going to improve. Things are going to go better. Obviously, there's still going to be, some of those tough games. Like next year when they're going to UCLA, that's going to be really tough, having to travel. It'll be interesting to see them playing Miami of Ohio down at Paul Brown Stadium, those kind of interesting things, which, we were saying about the two that they should have won. Unfortunately, there's two there that they should have lost, the Miami of Ohio game. I mean, that thing was ridiculous. Seriously. Other photographers were going over to UC management saying, hey, man, you guys have had a great run. It's unfortunate you're losing this year, but, just consoling them. And that was with like 5 minutes left in the game. And the next thing you know, they won. I mean, nobody thought they were going to win at that point until they got the interception, and it was just night and day. And then, of course, the other one, I mean, the UConn game.
Right.
Their kicker, which had only had like 6 field goals or 8 field goals through the entire season, he hit the 53-yarder at one point during the game. That's very impressive. 53 yards in college. I'm like, dang. And he misses a field or the extra point in overtime or at the end of the game.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean,
and how bad does that kid feel for getting that unsportsmanlike conduct that pushed them back 15 yards because they were going to go for 2.
Exactly.
Because I was kind of flipping back and forth between the Ohio State and UC games, and I was like, they're going for 2 here. And then there was the penalty, and that just sealed their fate.
Exactly. So you got to feel bad for him. You definitely got to feel bad for the kicker. I mean, it's just not that we want to, go around feeling bad for UConn because, let's be honest, they always have women's basketball to fall back on. So
exactly.
So sheesh. I mean, probably haven't lost other than 2 games in the last 3 years or something ridiculous like that. So we can't feel too bad for their athletic program. But you do. I
never feel bad for UConn.
Yeah. I did feel bad for that kid, though, but I know what you mean. Yeah, the
Yes,
program.
I feel bad for the kid, not for UConn. They've gotten us enough time in men's basketball, too, that I don't feel bad for them.
Exactly. So, yeah, so we got those things, ending the year in football. The women's team, which, of course, has a tough road ahead of them. They're 4-3. They've got a couple wins that they should win. Findlay and Slippery Rock, Southeast Louisiana University. They won at Miami University, and then, of course, losing to Pittsburgh. And they won at Eastern Kentucky, and then they lost to St. Francis. So, it's been an up-and-down season so far. But folks, are focusing, of course, on the Crosstown Shootout on this Saturday. But there also is another Crosstown Shootout on the Sunday the 10th. So that'll be one for people to check out as well. So if you can't get, your UC Xavier fix, at that game, that's not enough. You want to see more of red versus blue, that'd be the game to check out on December 10th.
Yep, exactly.
So any final thoughts, Mark, on the, on Eric Hicks, on the UC football season, anything like that?
No, it's just great hearing from Eric again, and I'm more than happy the next time he wants to come on. He's a great guy, a lot of energy, and he loves UC. So it was great having him, and let's get these basketball Bearcats to this next little 2-week stretch and see where we stand after all those tough games.
Excellent. So for UC Bearcats on the Prowl, mybookie.ag, James Ernest and Mark Fightmaster signing off for UC Bearcats on the